Okay, so in this video, I want to talk about my approach to handling objections. For those of you that don't know me, maybe this is your first video. My name is Tiye. I run a software company called RepSelect, where we pair remote sales reps with business owners looking to hire appointment setters, closers, SDR, account executives, etc. If you're a business owner looking to hire or a rep looking for an awesome role, links are down in the description. But let's jump right into the video topic, which is objection handling. A lot of times I see people handling objections in the wrong order, in the wrong way. Obviously, this is my opinion. There's no one way to do things, but I see this consistent pattern of people trying to do the right things just in the wrong order, which is causing them to not close as many deals as they probably could be if they were to switch things up a bit. And I want to break it down in three kind of sections when it comes to handling objections. The way I see it is services, logistics, and then the emotional side of things. In that literal order is how I like to handle them. What I mean by that is if a prospect on the call is bringing up any concerns when it comes to especially the logistical and the emotional side of things, emotional being uncertainty, fear, logistical meaning maybe they just don't have the cash to invest. We have to handle these things in a specific order. And it does matter. We can't just, if there's logistical things in the way, I always say handle that first before handling like fear, uncertainty, emotional things. And the reason why is because the latter, the next thing doesn't matter if the former wasn't already handled. So the reason why I say service, logistics, emotional is because services, number one, services meaning if they believe that the service will actually help them, whatever it is you're selling, if they believe the service, if they believe the product is what they need to achieve the goal that they got on the call to achieve or solve the problem they got on the call to solve. If that is not out of the way, if they don't think what you just offered, because this usually comes after the pitch, usually after the price drop, if they don't feel like what you just presented to them is the solution, the rest doesn't matter. And that's why you'll see a lot of people when they're teaching objection handling, they always try to isolate the objection by saying, hey, X aside, price aside, whatever aside, do you feel like this is what you need? Because that's what's most important. You hear that over and over and over again from tons of sales trainers. It's because if they don't believe the service is going to help, they don't believe that the service is going to be the thing that's going to work for them, there's no point in talking about pricing. There's no point in talking about their fear. There's no point in talking about their uncertainty. There's no point in talking about anything outside of that, because that service thing is always going to be there. You can handle their fear with all the analogies and stuff, but if they don't believe the service is going to work at the end of the day, they're still not going to buy. It doesn't matter. So first thing you always want to get out of the way, regardless of what the objection is their belief, their conviction in the service. Do they think it's going to help? Cool. Check mark. That's out of the way. They believe the service is going to help. They believe it works. Next thing, the reason why I say is logistics, these next two aren't have to handles. It's just something that you want to handle in this order if they both come up, right? If someone brings up a logistical concern or a logistical reason as to why they won't buy, and they bring up an emotional, I'm not going to handle the emotional first and then go back to logistical. I'm going to handle the logistical first, then I'm going to handle the emotional, because at the end of the day, it's really hard to overcome and help someone gain confidence and get past their concerns when it's emotional if there are logistical things lingering in the back of their mind. If I'm thinking, I can't afford this, I can't afford this, I can't afford this, but out of my mouth is coming, I'm afraid, I can give analogies till I'm blue in the face. I can try to handle the fear till I'm blue in the face, but in the back of their mind, they're still like, I can't afford it anyway. I can't afford it anyway. I can't afford it anyway. It doesn't matter. Right? So first things first, get the logistics out of the way. Whether they think that there's a timing issue, whether they think that there is, an ability issue on their end, whether they think whatever it is, get those logistics out of the way first, handle that. Then you can move into the emotional, where you're dealing with analogies, where you're dealing with, identity and reframing your mindset and all of that stuff. But again, I see so many times where people bring up a fear and then they jump all the way and try to handle it right away without actually handling the other two things, or at least one of them first. And what happens is they give all the analogies, they give the identity reframes and all that stuff. And then what happens is they never actually overcome it because the person takes it back to a logistic, or they take it back to, well, how do I know this is even going to work? And they bring it back to the service, right? So I find this works so much better. Handle the service, handle anything logistical. Once those two things are out of the way, it's literally the only thing left on the plate is the emotional. There's nothing to go back to. Now it's just about confidence. Now it's just about a few seconds of bravery to overcome the uncertainty. Now we can actually handle this, because then once we get over it, there's nothing to go back to, because fear and uncertainty is something they can rehash. Logistics aren't. If we've already gotten past the logistical things, for example, they say I can't afford it. We've already done, let's say, open wallet conversation, and we've come up with a payment plan that 100% will work for them, then there's nothing to go back to. If we've already established that they have belief that the service is exactly what they need, it's very hard for them to go back on that, right? But the fear thing, the emotional thing, the identity frame thing, it gets jumbled when you try to handle it too early. So try that out on your calls. Hopefully it helps. I know it's done wonders for myself. It's done wonders for people that I've worked with. Try it out, and I'd love to hear how you guys are faring with it. I think it is one of the best ways to filter down people's objections. And if you want to hear more examples of this, we do tons of call reviews in our remote sales community. We have a link in the description to it. You can join the community for free. We have obviously subscriptions for people that want extra attention, but we do a free call every single Monday for anyone is welcome to join, where we go over sales training, where we go over interview training, where we go over job sourcing. We go over how to use the Rep Select platform to get as many job invites from business owners as possible. Lots of people have landed awesome roles just from the free value we provide in that community. So feel free to join, and I'll see you guys in the next video.